So you hear about these big private equity buyouts all the time, right? But have you ever wondered what actually happens next? It's not just a simple transaction. There's a whole playbook, a step-by-step formula for a complete transformation. Today, we're going to crack open that playbook and see exactly how these firms reshape the companies they buy.
Okay, so the ink is dry on the deal. Now what? Well, it's definitely not a sit back and wait kind of situation. No way. It's an all-in, hands-on overhaul, and it's all built around one single, powerful idea.
And that idea is something called value creation. This is the heart of the entire strategy. We're talking about a fundamental rework of a company, its operations, its finances, its whole direction, all to make it more profitable, more efficient, and, you guessed it, way more valuable. And this whole playbook, it really rests on three main pillars.
All right, pillar number one, the operational overhaul. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's where the PE firm gets right into the weeds, rolling up their sleeves and digging into how the company actually works day to day.
And when they do that, they're really focusing on three things: cutting costs, making things run smoother with operational excellence, and obviously boosting revenue.
So first up, cost optimization. You can think of this as trimming the fat, right? Making the company leaner and meaner. They'll go through every line of the budget looking for waste, renegotiate contracts with suppliers to get better deals, and sometimes even consolidate facilities to slash overhead.
Then there's operational excellence. Now, this is super important because it's not just about spending less money. It's about making the company smarter and faster. They'll look at everything, the production lines, the supply chain, to find and fix bottlenecks. And yeah, they'll often bring in new tech to automate tasks and really crank up that efficiency.
And look, you can't just shrink your way to greatness, right? So the third part of this is all about growth. We're talking aggressive revenue growth. This could mean anything from expanding into new markets, launching brand new products, or just completely revamping the sales and marketing strategies to bring in more customers. Okay, so once the company's operations are starting to look better, it's time to bring in pillar number two, the financial blueprint. This is where a private equity firm's real financial muscle comes into play to totally reshape the company's books. And one of the biggest tools in their financial toolkit is one you've definitely heard of, the leveraged buyout, or LBO. It's a really powerful strategy, and honestly, it can be a little controversial sometimes. So what is an LBO, really? Well, in simple terms, it's when the PE firm buys the company using a whole lot of borrowed money. And here's the key part. That debt doesn't sit on the PE firm's balance sheet. Nope, it gets put directly onto the books of the company they just bought. The whole process is actually pretty straightforward. Step one, buy the company with a lot of debt. Step two, use all those operational fixes we just talked about to make the company generate way more cash. And step three, use all that extra cash to pay down the debt as fast as possible. As the debt goes down, the value of their ownership, the equity, goes up. But it's not just about the LBO. It's about bringing a new level of financial discipline to the entire company. We're talking tighter financial controls, better reporting so that everyone knows exactly where the money is going, and really optimizing things like inventory to free up cash that can then be put back to work. So you've got the operations running smoothly and the finances are in order. That brings us to our third and final pillar, the strategic shakeup. This is all about the big picture, setting a new direction and making sure you have the right team to get you there. And this shakeup has three core parts: managing talent, mapping out a long-term strategic plan, and putting strong governance in place. A great strategy is pretty useless if you can't execute it. Private equity firms know this better than anyone. That's why one of the first moves is often to bring in new leadership, a new CEO or CFO who has a history of making these kinds of turnarounds happen. And to hit the ground running, they have an intense focus on what they call the 100-day plan. That first period after the acquisition is, well, it's everything. And this 100-day plan isn't just about quick, easy wins. It's a full-on sprint designed to set the tone and pace for everything that follows. It's the foundation for the entire multi-year strategic roadmap that will guide the company for the rest of the time it's owned by the PE firm. Finally, to keep the whole thing on the rails, they completely overhaul the company's governance. This usually means a new board of directors, one that's way more hands-on. It's all about creating clear systems for accountability and making sure every single person is pulling in the same direction towards creating more value. Okay, so we've walked through the three big pillars: operational, financial, and strategic. The key thing to remember, though, is that these don't just happen in a vacuum.
They all have to work together. Let's look at how they combine into one powerful engine.
And here it is, the whole machine working together. See how it works? The operational improvements pump out more cash. The financial engineering uses that cash to pay down debt and make the company stronger. And the top-level strategy keeps everything pointing in the right direction. It's not 3 different plans, it's one integrated system.
There's a quote that just sums this up perfectly. It says that a private equity fund doesn't just provide capital, it fundamentally transforms a company. I mean, that's really it, isn't it? The money just gets them in the door. The real magic happens during the transformation. So when you think about it, this very hands-on, very intense style of ownership is becoming a bigger and bigger deal in the business world. And that leaves us with a pretty big question to ponder. As this model continues to spread, what does that mean for the future of business itself?